historian, I always bring up old stuff. That's what Smokey said. Well, I don't think that's what he said, but he's bringing up old stuff. All right? I can't say that other way. Can't say it. But you can catch me on the Ed Gray historical page, and of course the Ed Gray political page. I'm about ready to go home, man.
We're going a few minutes, man.
I know. I have with me, we're going to be talking about the U.S. Census 2020 and why and how it's important. You know, census has been around for years, and this guy right here has been around for years as well. His name is Vern Catron. You've been a long time radio listener in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You may have heard his name. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. It's nice seeing you again, man.
Thank you. Nice seeing you. It's always good to see you.
Hey.
Yeah, I've been in Dallas-Fort Worth now since 2001. This is my second time around. I came in 1976 to help launch K104 FM, and left in '88, moved to Atlanta, came back here in 2001, worked with Tom at ABC Radio.
Well, hold on. Worked with Tom.
Tom Joyner.
Oh, okay, because I didn't know who Tom was.
Yeah,
you know, when people started mentioning stuff like that, they say, Tom, I work with Tom.
I hear you. I work with Tom Joyner and Tom Joyner Morning Show, as well as the other 24-hour networks that we had on the ABC, and stayed there for 6 years, and I worked with the Census Bureau as a media specialist. And every 10 years, you know, it's a census, decennial, and this is 2020 coming up, and it's very important for us, especially black folks, to make sure we participate, fill out that questionnaire.
That's good. Now, you know, what I really like about this, man, you said you started in 70 what?
I came here in 1975. We didn't put
75.
K104 in here until 1976.
So you're one of the pioneers of radio, man.
Oh, I guess you'd call that.
I mean, it wasn't no K104 till you got it.
True. It was KKDA, but there's no K104.
Right.
K104 was in the works, yes.
Right. So it's KKBA
AM.
AM.
Right.
So you was over there with Tom Joyner, was it?
Tom, Diane Dancer, Mike Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah, so you naming names, dropping names, you know, Dwayne Dancer, you know, I saw him a couple of weeks back, you know, and Willis Johnson was over there with him.
Yeah. Dwayne's a pioneer.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Willis is a pioneer.
Yeah. So I hang out with pioneers, which you know what that means?
You David Crockett.
I'm old. That's what it is. Yeah. Pioneers. And we worked for a brief time in corporate America together as well.
Yes, we did. We did work at the.
You can't say that name.
The period of time when I did not.
Cause they ain't
I
paid.
didn't work there. Let's put it that way. I forgot all about that. I didn't forget you, but that place is kind of
Yeah.
took it out of my. I unfiled it.
You filed it.
I unfiled it.
You filed it.
It was a bad time in my life.
Now
Fell off my horse.
you originally from where?
From Boston,
Boston.
Massachusetts. Right?
You from where Bobby Brown was at?
Mm-hmm. Bobby Brown, New Edition.
Yeah, you knew them, and you knew that.
No, I didn't know them. No.
Okay.
I was gone by the time.
You was gone, but you from that area?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Roxbury.
Roxbury. Born and raised in Roxbury.
See.
Yeah. Went to high school in Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
My high school coach was Rolly Massimino.
Coach Massimino was.
Yes, he was my high school coach, basketball coach.
You played basketball?
High school, yeah, I tried.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I played a couple of years, yeah. And he left and went on to some school in New Jersey, ended up being at Villanova, of course.
Okay.
You know, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you did track. And now Tony B, you know Tony B, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Tony B did track as well, man.
Really?
Yeah, Forreston Flash. He was from Arkansas, Forreston.
No, I didn't do track.
Yeah. Okay. Now y'all all natural born athletes and did this radio.
I ran
But-
the police.
Yeah, you ran from the police. Now,
Well, actually, I did run some track, but actually in my high school, I played high school basketball. That was really my concentration.
concentration.
Yeah.
What got you to radio?
Well, you know, I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan, and I used to go to the games all the time. This is so far back as when you could get a front row seat in the first section for $5. Back when they were in the titles every year.
That's when Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, Sat Sanders, Sam Jones, all of them. And I used to go to those games all the time. And I used to, after the game, I would go stand outside waiting for the players to come out, and just so I could look at them. And I noticed the broadcast people were being take the equipment out, and it just intrigued me to see what they were doing. And that equipment back then was huge because they had so much of it, unlike today. And I I was just watching him take it back and forth. I said, I'm interested in doing that. And the play-by-play guy by the name of Johnny Most was somebody I really was a fan of. I just loved the way he called basketball games. And so that got me interested in radio. So I actually went into radio to do play-by-play sports. I wanted to take Johnny Moses' job. Somehow I got sidetracked into music. I started at WLD in Boston. Started doing weekend news and some sports. And then a full-time job came up, and it was a DJ job. So I took that, and I ended up staying in music radio.
That's funny. You know, most people end up getting into radio by accident. It's not like they just did it.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'd say a lot of celebrities do. But most people that get in radio, they've put their mind to getting into it because it's not easy to get into. It's a lot of people that I went to school with never went past school because they didn't pursue it. It's something you have to really, really pursue, and there's a lot of roadblocks, and there's a lot of moving around.
A lot of moving around?
Yes.
Explain the moving around.
Well, I started in Boston, went to Rochester, New York, came to Dallas. From Dallas, I went to Atlanta. From Atlanta, I went to Savannah. From Savannah, I went back to Atlanta. From Atlanta, I went back to Virginia Beach, worked there in Norfolk. I came here in Dallas again in 2001. I've been here ever since. Now that's a lot of moving around for me, but I know people that moved around twice, 3 times as much as I have. And a lot of people don't last because they get married, and it's kind of tough on the family. You know, they either stay in the business and stay married, which is rare if you're moving around a lot, or they stay in the business and get divorced and maybe get married 2 or 3 times. It's really rough on a family to be in radio and move around a lot. So it's
Sound like you need a stable job.
Well, it's stable.
It's stable, man.
You can stay at home.
Well, okay. Okay.
And that's where it gets kind of difficult because when I worked in Norfolk, I still had a home in Atlanta. My wife flew back to Norfolk. When I worked in Savannah, I used to commute. And even when I came here, after I left town for a while, I worked in Killeen and Shreveport. I commuted back and forth on the weekends. I came home on the weekend. So it's a lot of moving around. And it's a lot of sacrifice. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of a hard business to kind of fall into. Now the sales aspect of it, a lot of people don't go into sales thinking when I get out of college, I'm going to do sales, and they end up doing radio sales. They kind of fall into it a little bit. But as far as being on air or programming, that's usually something that takes a lot of dedication and being persistent.
Okay. Dedication, being persistent.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a job working for the U.S. Census.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They only do it every 10 years, so what you do during the other 9 years?
Well, I do surveys for them.
I mean, the census is more than just a 10-year deal.
Oh yeah, well the decennial's every 10 years, but the census is always doing surveys, whether it's for HUD, they do the housing survey, the HS, that's done every year, every 2 years. There's economic surveys, there's employment survey. There's always surveys going on, and there's also a monthly survey called the American Community Survey, where people get these forms in the mail and they fill them out. They're pretty long, so a lot of people think that's the census, that's the decennial. So when you talk to them about census, they say, I already filled it out. I said, no, you didn't fill it out. That was a different survey. You mean I gotta do another one? I said, yeah, but this one's shorter. It's only 9 questions. It takes 10 minutes to fill it out. And so with all the different surveys going around, people get confused and think, well, I've already done it. I don't want to do it again. They throw the thing in the trash, and somebody's knocking on the door after April 1st, and they want to know why. And that's why, because they haven't filled it out. That is the one survey where, by law, you are supposed to fill that survey out.
By law?
By law, yes.
You mean that's not like an option? You just
Not the decennial. Now, they're not going to come and break your door down and take you to jail, but by law, you are supposed to fill that survey out.
Okay, so they don't come look for me if I don't fill it.
They'll come looking for you to get you to fill it out. They'll come knocking on your door, and
What if I don't want to answer my door?
they'll come back. And they'll come back several times until.
So like bounty hunters.
But it's for good reason.
Oh, hey,
They're not coming to take you away. They're coming to get information, and it's vital information for our community, and for the city of Dallas, and for every town around here in every state. It's really important that the census It's a complete and accurate count.
Okay, now you say our community, what do you mean by our community?
Well, I'm assuming that most of your audience is African American.
Yes,
So,
that is accurate.
so
It's a
when I say our community, that's what I mean by our
Okay,
community.
because I've had to explain that to people before. I said, look, I don't exclude nobody from
Right.
this,
Mhm.
you know, but that's what, this is what it is.
That's why I said I think most of your audience.
Nah, that's what I said.
I'm sure you got most. I'm sure you got other
Oh, what they.
a melting pot out
A
there.
melting pot, yeah, a plethora.
But yeah, but when I say community, I'm really,
Listen, you would-
I'm still thinking about the African American community in particular, because it's very important. It's important for everybody to fill it out, whether black, white, Hispanic. But because I'm an African American, I have a little more passion when it comes to that.
Why?
aspect of it. Because it's so important that for the complete and accurate count, you know how much money is involved in the census each year?
There's always some money involved when the government's involved.
Yes, but the money is used for funding. There's $675 billion every year distributed based on those census numbers.
Now, you know, I'm gonna ask the question, because Oak Cliff, that's my hood, you know, that's what it is.
Mhm.
So let me ask you a question. Now, how is that gonna benefit me? You know, I live on Illinois, I'm just speaking to somebody. I'm living on Illinois, how is that gonna benefit me to fill out a form? This gonna be an actual form? I
Yes.
can't do this online?
You can do it on, yes, this, for the first time, you can do it online. There's 4 ways to fill out your questionnaire. You can do it online, you can do it on the phone, you can fill it out by mail and send it in, or you can wait for them to come, knock on your door, fill it out then. Have them fill it out.
Okay, now let me ask you, the knocking on the door thing is the part that's really intriguing to me. Because, you know, people knock on your door, that can be dangerous in Dallas, as you know, we talked about that earlier, okay, it can be dangerous in Dallas. But, you know, it's still about knocking on the doors, are they gonna be persistent until they find you and say?
Oh, pretty much so.
So
Because-
folks, when you get it, answer the questions, please, don't take people through these changes.
And the question you asked about why is it important to you living out in Illinois? Well, that's how the House of Representatives, that's where the seats are. It's determined on what the population is in your community. You could actually lose a representative seat if there's an undercount.
Now, do we have undercounts?
Absolutely, yes. Because people don't fill out the questionnaire. And some people are not aware, that's why we have partnership specialists that go out and form partnerships with trusted voices. And media specialists do the same thing. We focus on media, that's why we came to you to be a partner, because we know how powerful you are and everybody knows who you are and you're a trusted voice. And we depend on people like you to get the word out about the importance of the census and how it's going to affect them for the next 10 years. Like I said, there's a lot of money involved, but we're talking about SNAP programs, we're talking about Medicare, we're talking about roads, new schools, it's all predicated on those numbers. So even in radio, if you lose this, for instance, in radio, a share in this market is worth about $2 million. So let's say there's an undercount and your share is now 4% of the market as opposed to 6% of the market. That's $4 million.
It's real money.
Real money. So radio, it affects radio, it affects TV, it affects every aspect of every business. Every business out there is affected by it.
Okay. We want everybody that's listening to go ahead and share this out. Remember, we need to go ahead and get a fair and accurate account of what's going on in, well, DFW market area. So, you know, this is the market area that we're talking about. So when you get that census packet, go ahead and fill it out.
9 questions.
9 questions.
That's it.
You have a memorized?
No, I don't have
You
one.
know, that's the reason why you have the packet with you, right?
No, I don't have to.
Yeah, yeah, you don't have to memorize. That's a packet right there. Right
Well, I've
there.
got plenty of information, but I don't have the questionnaire with me.
What kind of information you have with us?
I have the key dates, in other words, the things that are going to be going
What's
in.
wrong with that?
All right, right now, we are in a certain phase, we're in an education phase. We're still trying to get people aware, make people aware of the census. We are now hiring.
Hiring.
Yes.
Wait a minute, hold on. You said hiring?
A lot of jobs we have, and it's tough because of the the economy is so good, it's not because of you know what, but the economy is good, so we're competing with people like McDonald's, actually McDonald's, we're competing with, Amazon. You saw the story the other day, Amazon had lines of people looking for jobs. We're competing with those companies now. So we've got jobs, for instance, enumerators who do the follow-up, who knock on the doors after April 1st. We're hiring for those right now. They start at $15 an hour. It's temporary work. You can make your own hours. You can work as much as you want or less as you want. There are jobs with enumerators. There's also office jobs available, clerks, field jobs. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and in some areas, we are having trouble finding people.
Is this one of those areas?
Dallas it looks like we fit our numbers pretty well, but we still need people in Dallas too. But there's areas of Texas where we are really hurting. You know, there's areas in this country we are really hurting finding people. I've got a friend of mine that told me in Midland, Odessa, that I find it hard to believe, but he wouldn't say this, it wasn't true, that the McDonald's down there, this guy works at Channel 8, the McDonald's down there, they're hiring at $25 an hour because.
Wait, $25 an hour at
Yes,
McDonald's?
yes.
Wow, sure. You may need to go to McDonald's. $25 an hour and all of the Big Macs you can eat.
I don't know what that.
All the Big Macs you can eat.
They got pretty good inventory control at the dollar, so
Oh, never mind.
you gonna pay for those.
Okay, never mind. Let's talk about the census again. Because that's about counting. Inventory control.
Yes.
It's about what? Counting. So
Exactly.
we're still on task and on topic, okay? So 9 questions on there. And we are now in the information stage of getting people to realize the census is coming. It starts when?
Actually, the census is April 1st, 2020. That's Census Day.
That's census
Why
day.
April Fool's Day, I don't know. But, and some people probably do think that's a joke, but April 1st, but the mailers start going on the 23rd, the middle of March.
Ah,
And after April 1st, if you have not filled it out, that's when the enumerators will come to do follow-up, to knock on your door, ring your bell. And you know what, surprisingly, a lot of people think, well, that's gonna be difficult. And it is difficult, because some people just don't wanna do it. But I've done a lot of surveys with the census, and I always thought people are more like me, where I don't wanna open the door, I don't always do.
right.
But I found that 90% of the doors I knocked on, I was about everybody didn't fill it out. Some people said, I don't wanna really participate, do I have to? No, you don't. And on these surveys, like the housing surveys, you don't. So I said, no, you don't have to fill it out. They said, I'd rather not. I got responses like that, but most of the people, I'd say 90% of the people filled out the questionnaires. You know, some of those surveys are pretty lengthy. I got very little pushback.
You know, that's very informative, you know, when you're getting ready to do your research on your family history.
Mhm.
And people say, I couldn't find them that year. It's like, well, they didn't fill out the census. We know they were alive because we got a death certificate that said that they
Mhm.
died on a certain date, but they wasn't part of the census. And
Well, if you don't participate in the census, then you don't count, basically. So you don't exist.
we don't exist. That's a sad
I mean, you
thing.
physically do exist, but
Right, but
as far as the numbers
it's
are
a sad
concerned,
thing
you don't.
for people that always talk about, here I am. That here's your chance to get counted. And no, you aren't. You're not being counted.
Well, and you know, one of the things that the challenge is again, there are people that don't want the government to have their information, even though the government has most of their information. So does an Amazon and some of these other companies. There's a lot of people that just don't want to give out their information. And a lot of people don't understand the importance of giving this information. And that, again, that's why we have partnership specialists that form partnerships with churches, because people do listen to their pastor. If your pastor says fill out the census form, more likely you're gonna fill it out. If your community organizer tells you how important it is, you're probably gonna fill it out. And that's why it's important that people are aware of the importance of those census numbers and how they affect their lives. But if they don't know, if they're not aware, this to a lot of people is an intrusion. And then it scares some people away because they may think that the numbers, the information's going somewhere else, like to
Immigration.
ICE, yeah, or something like that. Those numbers, this is confidential. Those numbers go nowhere but the Census Bureau. It's confidential for 72 years. If you were to fill out that form right now, and I was to tell anybody what's on that form, I could go to jail for 5 years.
Like that.
Just like that. That's how serious the census is. And the confidentiality is very important, and that's what I want to get that across too, because a lot of people feel like that information is going to get out there. Mind your business. I don't want you to have my business. Well, it's not going anywhere. Those numbers are used for the census, basically what it's a count of how many people are in this country, whether you're a citizen or not.
And you're telling your business all the time because you're on Facebook. And you're telling your business. So speaking of being on Facebook, we'd like to thank you for looking and listening in to the Commish Radio Show. We're on Facebook live every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Strip, let's play a couple of drops and we will conclude with that.
Hey, guess what? This is Ed Gray of the Ed Gray CNN. Yes, that's right. Commission Nation Network. Welcome to our families, in which you can be able to hear our radio show.